When it comes to car model legacies, things can get a little tricky. When car developers are designing a new layout for their next new model, they never know if their creation will become an instant hit or if it will magic carp across the showroom floor. Sometimes you start fresh and go a little too far in design, a.e. the Pontiac Aztec, and sometimes you grab a concrete design, tweak it just a little bit, and something magical happens. In comes the GTI. The Volkswagen Golf GTI is a small family car that Volkswagen has been manufacturing since 1974. It's sold all across the world, spanning 7 generations, and comes in 4-door or 2-door hatchback configurations. The first GTI was molded out of a VW Golf in 1976. They basically took a Golf and threw a better motor in it and called it a hot hatchback. VW sources have said that the developers of GTI were not actually told to make a new design for the Golf. They just started drawing plans and engine configurations on their free time. They actually presented it to the president of VW at the time, and he didn't think it would ever sell. Thankfully, they went through with their design, and when the first prototype hit the test track, the president loved it and pushed its development. And throughout the generations that they call marks, for some reason, the GTI has been a staple variation of the Golf. Each new generation has added a little more horsepower, and a turbo was introduced in Mark III. Fast forward to 2011, and you have this GTI that I'm reviewing here today. This is a Mark VI with a 6-speed manual, and I've got to say, I actually like this car. The red stitching, the throwback plaid seats, the notch steering wheel, even the waffle cone floor mats look good. But of course, you can't have a car with highs without the lows. One time somebody mentioned to me that the GTI from the side shares the same dimensions of a miniature minivan, so now whenever I look at it, I can't unsee a miniature minivan. The headlights remind me of an old man squinting in the sun, and everywhere he touched it's cheap plastic. Now I know this is supposed to be an economical hatchback, but for this price range, VW could at least put some nice soft plastic in this thing. But the biggest complaint for the Mark VI GTI is surprisingly rust. The designs of the front doors allow water to get trapped at the bottom of the pillars, which rust out. You can actually find pictures of people with icicles hanging from their door corners like your strange aunt's bat cave. Okay, driving this Mark VI GTI is like doing a switching battle between a leg press and shaking baby syndrome. The throw of the clutch pedal is the longest I've ever felt. It's like you're crab coring every time you clutch out. The gas pedal is attached to the floor, which is a pretty cool nod to earlier VWs, but behind it becomes a dirt and leaf POW camp. The suspension is hard and lets you know your neck is working by jerking you back and forth in the pretty plaid seats. Thankfully, the seats bolsters do a pretty good job holding you in so your kidneys won't take too much of a thrashing, but what they don't do well is back support. After driving this Mark VI a while, your lower back starts aching and you get out of the car looking like you work part-time ringing church bells and hanging out with gargoyles. The taillights love to help you clean your trunk by holding on the rainwater and pouring it straight into your hatch when you lift it up. Yes, the GTI does have its quirks, but all is forgiven once you get on the road. The turbo in this hot hatch donkey kicks you in the seat so hard it's surprising it only has 211 horses. The car is a little bit top heavy though, so going in the corners hot feels like you're prairie dogging it, but the brakes are on point and the steering lets you feel the tires, what they're doing at all times. Honestly, I had to really think of things and nitpick about this car, but the number one complaint I have about it is the gas mileage. This is supposed to be a little economical hatchback, so you'd think it'd get pretty decent miles, right? Well, no, because under that bonnet is a thirsty turbocharger that likes its presence to be known. You can start feeling it as little as 2,500 RPMs, and once you get the tip, you have to push your foot down and accept that full shaft. The rated MPGs are 2433, but in reality, it's probably more in the teens than the middle 20s. That's why I consider this car to be a toy. Something you drive on the weekends or once in a while on your morning commute, but you should probably have a daily on the side that you can use for normal day-to-day driving. Maintenance is also pretty pricey, seeing that a simple oil change costs about $70, and that's if you do it yourself. So in the end, would I suggest buying a 6th Gen Golf GTI? Well, the short answer is yes. The mildly elaborated answer is yes, I would suggest it over its competitors like the Mazda Speed 3 and the Focus Turbo, but if you're looking for a hot hatchback with a turbo to daily drive, I would suggest something that engages the turbo in the little later RPMs like a WRX. That way you can still drive it day to day like a normal car, and once in a while take your pants off and unleash the beast. But if you don't care about MPGs and want something fun, I would highly suggest the 6th Gen VW Golf GTI. And if you don't mind driving a miniature minivan. What's up, guys? This is Tyler, and down here we have little Yoshi. So Yoshi would really appreciate it if you guys like the video that you just watched, if you would hit that like button and share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your mom. Maybe your mom likes car videos. I don't know. You don't know. You don't know until you try. Yoshi's also a camera whore. Look at her. Camera whore.